Hello, hi, I'm Melissa Sim, and welcome to Upleveling Your Career in 90 Days. So, today in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 common mistakes that people usually make when it comes to career success, and in fact, any sort of success in life. The first mistake that most people make is they think that mindset work is not important. In fact, it is usually not even thought about. Because I know what's going on in your mind. You're probably thinking that the external stuff are more important, such as an MBA, such as attending certain courses where you're able to implement processes and methodologies. Now, I'm not saying that processes and methodologies are not important, and I'm not saying that an MBA is not important. What I'm trying to say is mindset work is as important, if not more important, than the external structures, methodologies, and processes that you are going after. Now, why am I saying that? So, in order to show you, rather than sharing about my own story, which you will be reading in my emails, I will share with you a story of my client. Now, my client is a success. If you ever meet her, you will like her immediately. She's approachable, she's friendly, she's attractive. Not only that, she's articulate, she gives rocking presentation, and she speaks really well. In addition to that, she is also technically inclined, meaning although she's a salesperson, because she comes from a technical background, she's able to kind of speak her stuff. She knows what she's talking about when she meets client. However, after 9 months of being in her new job, all right, she couldn't close a single sale, and she was beginning to feel very depressed because her boss was really giving her the heat. And I know, if you're in sales, you know how it feels like when your boss gives you the heat. So she reached out to me and we worked together over a period of 12 weeks, and everything transformed. But what I wanted to tell you is during the period that I worked with her, I realized one thing. She thinks she's not good enough. And this is very common. I noticed that in probably by now 95% of the people I meet somehow has this belief deep inside them that they are not good enough. And no, it isn't like something that they go around to tell you. You could tell if you're a coach, when you speak to them, the language they used, you will know that that is really an internal dialogue that they have running in their mind, in their subconscious, 24/7. Okay, so it's really running and running non-stop. And why I'm saying it's running 24/7 is because it's set deep within your subconscious. And this is an area that you are not even aware of. And because you're not aware that it's there, and because you're not aware that this is the stuff that's stopping you from your success, you don't do anything about it. And so this is where the program comes in, my coaching comes in, where I'm able to dig out from you what's deep inside you that you are not aware of, so that we can surface them, so that we can repattern them, and so that we can reprogram them. Okay? Now, the second mistake that I noticed a lot of people have is they're always trying to seek validation from the outside. Now, what do I mean by validation from the outside? It's when you do a good job, you want to have somebody tells you you're doing a good job. You constantly want somebody to tell you that you're doing this right, or you're doing this right, or you're great, right? Now, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, be looking forward for that, because it's really nice when, someone really genuinely compliment you. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about a lot of people has a lot of insecurities, and you may be one of them. And you're looking at, someone else to be telling you what a great job you're doing. And this is something, again, so innate that I will be covering that in my coaching session with you. It's about self-love. You need to come to a point where you fully love and accept yourself. Now, why is that so important? Because if you don't fully love and accept yourself, it will be shown in how you communicate with people. Do you know what it is triggered as the external? Is that when people look at you, they can sense it, that you don't have the confidence, right? Confidence isn't a thing that people spell out. It's not like confidence from the external looks like maybe that person doesn't have the right body language and so forth, but it's really an internal thing. And people can sense it if you do not have confidence. And it's really tied 100% to self-love. So, I want to encourage you to really look at loving yourself. Perhaps you may want to stand in the mirror and say, I love you. It may sound very silly to you right now, that you will probably not even want to do that. But I can tell you this one little tip of standing in front of the mirror and saying, I love you, changes you from the inside out. And again, like everything that we do, it's really about constant practice. It isn't something that you do only once or twice in a year. Okay? So now let me move on to the third thing where it's a common mistake that people kind of like believed in, or people made. And I see that a lot in, especially in people doing sales. And they always tell me this, right? I need to make 30 calls before I can get 4 sales. Or I need to make whatever number. I mean, you have your number in your industry. And so there is this obsession with going out there and doing cold calls. And people hate cold calls. I mean, I haven't speak to anyone who loves cold calls. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? It doesn't have to be that way at all. Why not turn it around? Why can't it be that opportunities seeks you out instead of you trying really hard to seek for opportunities? Now, I covered that in depth, but I just want to leave that thought with you as a paradigm shift, because I cover that when you work with me, that opportunities will seek you out. And again, I want to just share with you a story of my client. She was making cold calls and she didn't like it. And I think you know, if you're doing this, that when you're making cold calls, you don't even feel like picking up the phone, right? It's not a very motivating thing to do. And so when I started working with my client, I actually told her, why do you need to make cold calls? And then I taught her, I brought her through the process, and within 3 months of working with me, she closed 2 sales without making cold calls. And incidentally, the same client that I work with was so miserable in her current job that she wanted to get a better one. And so she got one. She got a great offer from a multinational company shortly after we've completed our program, where before she couldn't even get hold of an interview. Like, like she's in this state of like, why can't I get anything going? What's wrong, right? And so I want to share with you that by implementing mindset tools and techniques, there are a lot of possibilities. In fact, nothing is impossible. It's only impossible in your mind. So if all this that I'm sharing with you resonate with you, I would like to encourage you to click on a free complimentary discovery session with me. The idea of this discovery session is to find out whether and to explore whether you would like to work with me and whether we're a good fit together. So if you are interested, you want to really have that session with me where you can truly up level your career, then I encourage you to click that button somewhere below the email. Okay, and before I go, I just want to remind you there will be another 4 emails that I'm going to be talking about the tools and techniques, and another 5 emails that I'm going to be talking about how my client uses the tools and techniques to help them turn their life around, to get their dream job, to close sales. And essentially it is to create your new reality. So I hope to see you on the other side where we could be working together.